The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the Morning Crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
All right, let's get into it. 312-591-8300. Give us that proof of life check-in. The proof of life. Get into that.
Proof of life?
The proof of wife. Let's get into it. 7:20 coming up. Lollapalooza VIP tickets for the Friday night, which features the 1975. You've got 30 Seconds to Mars, who will also be doing a post-Lala show at House of Blues, where we'll have tickets for that Thursday as well. Not to throw too much at you. Foles is there too, and of course 50 other bands. So that'll be at 7:20 in Clash with Kenzie. But now, in an episode of Was Your Day Worse Than Kenzie's? What'd you do? Sit on a hornet's nest yesterday? What happened?
No, I just said I am the Charlie Brown of my family.
Wah, wah, wah.
It just, everything happens. Everyone's always having a great day and something happens to me. So my husband just loves sitting outside on the patio. I'm not an outdoor eater. I want to be inside. I want controlled temperature. My son's napkin blew away. I tried to grab it. The drink got knocked over. I'm like, I hate this.
So that's a lot.
I hate it. It's practically camping. I don't want to be here.
It's a lot to deal with.
I just want to go inside. Yeah. So, we all sit down. And I'm like, I feel like there's my husband always downplays everything that I say is happening to me, too. And I go, I feel like there's so many bees around me. He's like, no, there's not. He's like, there's the normal amount of bees around everybody. And I go, God, there's a lot of hornets around me. Like they're just buzzing. I'm like, I can't even reach my food. Like every time I reach out. And so I'm standing up. I literally stand up. I go to the other side of the kitchen counter we have outside. I stand and eat. I'm like, they're all over there. And he's like, everybody has to deal with it, Kenzie. We're outside. Like, just downplaying.
A lot of bees in Elgin.
He goes to put the chairs away. And he goes, oh, like what? And he goes, this is a hornet's nest under your seat. I'm like, you're an ass. I've been complaining. Everybody else's seat is fine. Mine has a home for hornets under it.
How did you not see that before?
Well, you can't see through the seat.
Oh, it's not like one of those.
So he picked it up to move it back and actually probably was like, there's a lot of hornets over here.
Oh, their home is under here.
But I'm always getting told to deal with things. Like my husband's always like, you're fine. Like what you do to a 2-year-old. And I'm like, I realize I'm an adult woman. I know when there's an abnormal amount of bees around me. I can understand the difference.
So, everybody had to deal with a few bees. You had to deal with the queen and all her soldiers.
Yeah, well, I was sitting on top of their house, and they were pissed about it.
To be fair, it's not a bad argument on their part that you were ruining. You got in their space.
I was so uncomfortable, and nobody believed me. When I stood up to eat my dinner, he's like, yeah, you big baby. And it's like, okay.
Did you get stung?
I did not.
Okay. That's good. Have you ever gotten stung by a bee?
I got stung in the eye last year by a hornet.
In your eye?
Yes.
What happened?
I was, again, everybody else.
No one believes Kenzie ever. No, poor Kenzie. We throw her to the wolves.
I'm doing chores while my husband and son are having a blast, per usual. That's their life versus mine.
Yeah.
So I'm sweeping the porch, and I go to just move something, and a hornet, we have a lot of hornets because we have a brick house, and they love brick because it traps heat.
Yeah, they snuggle in the little concrete. Yes. They dig in.
So I move. I'm bent over innocently, just moving this thing so I can sweep under the crate. And a hornet comes right out into my face. I'm bent over looking at it, stings me in the eye. I start bloody murder screaming. My family does nothing. They are just like, what? What's wrong with you? And, staring at me.
How do you still have an eye?
You don't know it sucked? I know it sucks even worse. So my eye gets big and puffy.
Did it sting your eyeball?
It got all in there. Yeah.
Ugh.
So my eye's big and puffy. I had work photos the next day.
Oh, that's a shame.
Because I'm the Charlie Brown of everybody's life.
Yeah. I'm just still impressed that you've moved past how you still have an eye. You should have an eye patch.
I know.
Like I had as a kid. When I was a kid, I had grade school. My brother poked me in the eye and I had to wear an eye patch for months. You just got stung by a hornet in your eye.
You know what my family does? Every time something happens to me, which is often, They then tell a story about how something happened to them 12 years ago, so their life is worse.
They move on really quick.
Oh, and they're just like, well, focus on me. I'll be bloody murder screaming because it's currently happening. And my son Tristan's like, remember when I was 4 and that bee stung me? I'm like, like because of my face.
Remember that time I didn't tie my shoelaces and I tripped? That was really bad.
Yeah, my knee really hurt that one time. I'm like, yeah, I got it. I got it.
All right, well, we can start off the show with an FML. You know, that Kenzie's life here in the last 12 hours, let's say. How's your day going? Is it better than that? Is it worse than that?
I'm just Charlie Brown.
Speaking of bees, Chris Farley. Remember Chris Farley and Tommy Boy?
That was me.
Everywhere! God, they're huge! They're ripping my flesh off!
Son, roll around. Jamie, roll around on the ground.
Forget that! I'm starting to swell up! Don't be the hero!
Frank, I'm allergic to bees. Me too.
They're huge and they sting crazy!
We'll come back later and check on you. Yeah, in a while.
Save yourself! Your firearms are you...
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Trying to see if anybody had a worse last 12 to 24 hours than Kenzie after she sat on a chair with a hornet's nest under it.
Never happens to anybody else.
No, but let's see here. Checking in. FML. I drove off the pier at the beach yesterday with my trunks untied and lost my swimsuit.
I think dove.
I'm sorry, dove.
He didn't drive off the...
For a minute, I was hoping he drove his truck, like trying to unload a wave runner or something, and went right in.
Oh, God.
Okay, dove off, untied. I always leave my trunks untied, too, though. I don't like the tie feeling in my bathing suit. So I'm with you, man. But he lost his swimsuit. Had to chase him down, these wise-ass kids who retrieved it. They, grabbed it and ran it. He's, running around there with nothing on. It's traumatizing. A little bit.
Funny. It's kind of like a movie, Ian.
Yeah.
Chasing on your kids for your swim trunks.
I wonder if that really happened. Is it just something he just said and thought about? Sometimes you think things in a movie happen to you and you remember them wrong, and it actually...
No, that's never happened to me. You've accidentally thought that a movie,
It's something that you saw in a movie
you?
or a TV show happen to you, and then you tell the story to someone 10 years later, and you realize, wait, that wasn't me. That was a movie. That was a TV show.
Did you thought that you threw the rings of power in the fires of Mordor?
Yep,
or were you like, oh, that was Frodo?
Yeah. It's Q101. That was me.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, we're trying to help you here. A time with a fact that makes your brain go 20% of your day, up to it, is wasted somehow. We want you to work smarter, not harder. Even though I was brought up in the work harder mode, I like my union breaks, though. I do like those. We'll have one coming up.
You were brought up in the work harder?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You don't think so? You think yeah? Just because I chit-chat a lot doesn't mean I'm not working hard. I mean, I'm the king of small talk, but it's all that feeds into this show and what it ends up on the air.
You always say that you get here before everybody, but I bet you just get here and take a nap.
Get there.
Until we show up.
I will tell you, I'm the first one in the building at 4 a.m. of this entire building. I'm the first one in of anybody. We have other radio stations here, other workers. I'm the first one in. And I do, I eat a few chips when I get here. I open up, you don't know that, what I do. I don't take a nap, but I catch up on eating.
You catch up on eating?
Yeah, things I wasn't allowed to do at home. What do you think you waste the most in your day? Let's take out your commute, though, because obviously you have a big-ass commute from Elgin. What do you think your biggest waste of the day is?
Besides my commute.
Yeah, besides the commute. Because everybody probably, the commute is number one if they're listening right now.
You know what? I think that you have to word this correctly, but I spend a lot of my time doing stuff for other people, which makes my list get longer and longer because not a lot of other people spend time doing stuff for me.
Good.
So
You worded that pretty good.
It's more just a give versus a give and take, if you will.
I tell you, I feel the same way now having a kid because I didn't realize how much about me I was until you have a kid. And I'm now washing bottles every day for 15 minutes, all the stuff that goes along with the kid washing. I do everything for everybody else too. But I don't want anything for me. I'm good, but it'd be nice. Megan knows.
Dinner.
Oh, Megan cooks dinner every night. She does really good things for me. She takes care of me ridiculously.
See, I'm the dinner cooker, so by the time you cook the dinner and clean it up, that's over a 2-hour process of my day.
Yeah, clean the dishes, everything.
Yeah, so not a lot of help there, even though everyone else ate too.
I just glad you worded that carefully.
Yeah.
If anybody's listening up there in Elgin. I don't even want anybody to do anything for me because I feel guilty. I just used to do things for me doing for me, and I don't have that time anymore. And That's feels like I just waste. I could play guitar a little more. Fix my office. I've lived in our place a year. I have not cleaned up my office.
Well, I always get so behind on my laundry because I'm working, I'm cooking, I'm doing that, I'm cleaning up stuff in the house. Usually my son has some type of activity that you got to bring him to, and then watch them at, and then bring them home from.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, my laundry's behind, not because I was like hanging out, partying.
Just chilling. Well, listen, the problem is the number one waste of people's times in Chicago, up to 20% a day, is computer problems, is delaying people to be productive and work smarter and get things done. Now, we have engineers here. We have IT people. I'm sure you do at your place. You have an IT person. And half the time you have to reach out to them. I see Megan do this from home a lot of times. And then they don't get back right away. And then it's just like turn it off and turn it on again, and your computer's going to work and it's fine. I know a lot of us have learned to do that, but then once in a while something doesn't work right. You waste 20% of your day. 88% of Chicagoans use a computer at work. I think a lot of people go to the phone. I do so much on my phone, but I still have a laptop at home. I still have computers. There are 5 screens in front of me. I'm using computers. One breaks, I panic. I go nuts. And then we can't figure out how to start them. Remember the computer you have in your studio, Kenzie, your other one? We can't figure out how to turn it off and on because they hide the on-off button.
Oh, my God. So at radio studios, I don't know if they're going for aesthetic or what the deal is, but when the computer sits idle for a few days, and that's the one we use to record commercials and stuff, so it's not a daily use, you have to climb under the computer, unscrew a board, like a huge board that's bigger than my body, pull it out to hit the restart button.
Yes.
That's where the restart button is for the computer. And then rescrew in the board, come back up. I've broken so many nails.
Oh.
I hit myself in the eye with the board last time.
Yep.
Like, you think the reset button would have just been a little closer.
A little bit right up top there. Right up top, put it there. That's called job security, hiding it.
Oh, God.
The other thing, after Kenzie hit her head with that board to go get to this button, she called me in to go do it then. Hey, I hit my head, but you might hit your head too. But here, go get that button for me. And I did it.
You did it.
I work harder, not smarter all the time.
I was like, get your ass in here.
And that's it. Just to think about that. I don't know how to solve that problem, but 20% of Chicagoans' time is wasted with just restarting computers or computer problems. 20%. It's a lot in a day.
It is a lot. I don't know. I think if my computer stopped working, I would just ignore it and I'd just use my phone.
All right, we're shutting down for the day.
Yeah.
Can't go.
Can't do it.
We're done.
Getting my laundry done.
And there's a fact. It makes your brain go boom. You thought you were wasting your time most on a commute. A lot of it could be just your damn computer. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Something terrifying happened for a family right around O'Hare Airport. And this seems like the most unlikely thing to fall off a plane.
These violins seem very loud. You don't think they sound loud? I can barely hear you.
Sorry.
Bring it down. Pot it down a little.
Okay, now we're done with the violins. Okay, here we go.
Good Lord.
So,
What were you saying?
so these people live right by O'Hare, and they're sitting there enjoying them, whatever you do during the afternoon. This happened on the 4700 block of North Chester Avenue in Northwest Side. Plane lands at O'Hare. Everything looks fine, right? Nope. United Flight 767 dropped the emergency slide off the plane while it was landing, and it landed in someone's backyard. So that's that big inflatable thing that I've always dreamed of being able to jump and run down.
They should use that for their kid's birthday party.
It's a bouncy house now.
Yeah. Like a big inflatable slide. Come on. Into a little pool or something.
Sure. You got to make something out of it. I just can't believe that thing fell off a plane. You think of the engine, maybe. I don't know what planes do with poop in the air. Or like, do they let it go in the air?
That can't be a real question that you just asked me.
I don't know. I don't know do they keep it all the way through?
It's more porta potty style. It's a later thing. They would never let it go in the air.
I thought maybe it would evaporate by the time it's the ground or something like that. I'm just trying to think of things that fall off
Have
a
you
plane.
met birds? What do you mean?
Oh, birds. Yeah, the birds let it go, but they have like I don't know. I don't want to get in a big, deep discussion about what comes out of people, or animals.
I just don't understand why you'd think that any human waste would evaporate.
Because when you hit that plunger on the plane, it sounds like it's going out of the plane. It's so loud, the toilet. You know what I mean?
No, I never thought this is going outside.
I just things I think about in the plane. That's what I thought about.
Yikes. So, no.
But no, I guess so. But this slide fell off the plane, which is wild because
How are things just falling off of planes?
It's a little sketch. Maybe bad inspection. Also, that thing seems packed away. I've never seen one of those, that come off when the plane lands. It's emergency landing. You get to jump on the slide, come down. I've always wanted to do that. I thought it'd be really fun.
I don't think you do. I don't think you realize what that's tied with typically.
Well, you made it to the ground, so, getting off the plane. Because they sit there at O'Hare and they go, hey, our gate's not open. It won't be open for about 40 minutes because we got here early. Oh, great. We got here early, so it's awesome. And then I can't get off the plane. Just open that slide. I'll run for the rest of the way. You've never thought
you're
that?
a big runner.
Oh, well, that's the time I would run. Or at least walk fast. Do my power walking. But yeah, this thing fell off into someone's yard. And it's just, it's hilarious to see it. Like you said, it looks like a big bouncy house that's deflated in their backyard.
I just would be freaked out about the concept of them accidentally losing parts while in air. And what if you landed and then needed it? Like, what if the tire did break? Well, come on.
Yeah. The family apparently heard a loud boom around 12:15 in the afternoon. And then everybody just kind of started running in the neighborhood, took off some roof shingles and the kitchen window screen somehow when it hit part of the house when it landed.
I wouldn't think that would, it's like a balloon.
Yeah, but
why would it make that much noise?
Because it still fell from pretty high. I mean, it was landing, but it still fell high in the sky.
I imagined it like a plastic bag, how they drift to the floor. Like, like almost like a parachute-y.
Yeah. Well,
they
listen.
must be heavy.
I think they're pretty damn heavy, yeah. That thing fell out.
But it wasn't filled.
It's not, well, it wasn't filled, it was deflated.
Right.
Yeah. I think that makes it heavier. Because it's all just sitting there in a big blob of plastic coming down.
I don't think it would get heavier. It's the same amount of plastic, just expanded or not.
I think if it was filled up, it would be like a paper bag. You kind of could ride it down in the air. Like a magic carpet. Yeah. Anyway. So this thing, they lost its slide, and it was on its way from Boston, came in, and it was going to go to Phoenix after O'Hare, but then it landed, and everybody's fine. They didn't even know on the plane that it fell off. That's kind of the more scary part.
How do you not know that?
I know. I mean, it was gone, it fell up.
No button lit up or anything?
Yeah. I know. They still have the smoking signs buttons in planes. Say, like, don't smoke,
Well, you have to because people are stupid.
I know, but it's been so many years of not smoking. Does somebody really think they're going to be able
If it's not up, someone's going to do it, you know it.
If you think the lights are not up there anymore with the little smoking sign with the thing on it, someone's going to go, hey, we must be allowed to smoke now on the plane.
Did people still get in trouble for trying to, take off the smoke detectors, do all sorts of stuff?
I don't know. I think you're right. There should have been some kind of light. Say, hey, we lost our emergency ramp.
My car has been screaming at me for 3 weeks because I'm low on window washer fluid. And you're telling me the plane, nothing for losing a slide?
Didn't know. Had no idea. I know people live in O'Hare. It's always fascinating to me because I live in a flight path where I am kind of Wrigley Field where they come in, and I've become addicted to this Flight Aware app. That when you look up at the sky, you open the app and it tells you where the plane's coming in from. But people that live by O'Hare, you ever gone over someone's house where the plane just really comes right by their roof? People over at Midway or O'Hare. I mean, the plane is right there. And they live there like it's nothing and they start talking.
Midway is like you are almost in someone's pool before you make it to the runway.
They're landing right in your neighborhood. They've lived there all their life and they haven't changed. And it's people that live next to the L train, same deal. Like it goes right by and they're just so comfortable with the sound. You could move 15 miles over, get away from a couple miles over, get away from the plane or the train. But anyway, everybody's okay. And that's the good news. Everybody's just fine with this monstrous thing that weighs a couple 100 pounds landing in their backyard.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Q101 coming up. Remember, at 7:20, about a half hour away, Lollapalooza VIP tickets. It will be for Friday. So that is a 1975, 30 Seconds to Mars, among others. So about 50 other bands that day. So each day we're giving away VIP tickets for different days of Lollapalooza coming up right around 7:20 here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. First off, Gil Curtis with your headlines of the last 12 hours.
This is not headline news. ABC unveiled The Golden Bachelor. He's a 71-year-old widower who enjoys candlelight dinners and long shuffles on the beach. The 71-year-old said he's never heard of The Bachelor since it doesn't air on CBS. Fat Joe has lost 200 pounds. To commemorate the transformation, he's changed his stage name to Flappy Skin Joe. Leonardo DiCaprio's friend says he'll never settle down because whenever he thinks he's found his soulmate, she has to ruin it by turning 21. And today is Perfect Family Day, or as Britney Spears knows it, Tuesday. This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.